it's not evidence.
You're telling me everyone just made up stuff about Destiny out of the blue.
I mean, for like 80% of it, yeah.
You think everyone decided to, like, just come up with a bunch of lies about Destiny?
I mean, yeah. It's
Why
been
would they do
happening,
that?
like,
We're so fucking back.
That fucking, that's,
We're back on YouTube.
who was that? That guy, the one of the Destiny made one of his manifestos about him. Fuck. What's his
Bob
name?
7?
Bob 7, right.
Fucking-
Ever since Bob 7, that shit started.
The fucking
You know what Bob 7,
cartoon.
he manipulated the recordings, right?
Yeah, I know that.
So
Ever since
why
Bob
would you trust
7
Destiny's
started
word on
the
it if he
trend.
manipulates recordings to bring up evidence in his manifestos?
I'm saying Bob 7 started the trend of like using or not necessarily, but sometimes, yeah, sometimes that's the
You
point.
think everyone just decided to start a trend of just like making shit up about Destiny?
Well, some people actually believe it, but I think most of the time it's more so like especially driven Hassan fans. Yeah.
You think it's just Hassan fans who makes up these arguments?
Most of the time. Said most of the time.
Oh,
You could call them like trendsetters. For like the loudest of the goings on.
oh. What would it take for you to actually feel like Destiny betrayed you or betrayed anyone? Or like did anything wrong? What
Me,
is the line for
personally?
you?
For Destiny to actually be everything that well, let's say not everything. Let's say like at least be an abusive manipulator, gaslighter, right? For me to believe that's true, I'd need something like the video of Mr. Girl driving his partner to crying and walking out of the room and laughing about it.
So Anivore, basically. Right?
Isn't she like a straight up, stalker?
Nope.
No?
Nope.
No?
Anivore
Are
was
you sure
made
about that?
repeatedly to cry on stream. Over and over and over. When relitigating anything about their past relationship or anything like that on stream.
Why did she keep coming on?
Because Destiny's community described her as a stalker when she
And she
talked
decided
about
to
anything
come to
related to
Destiny.
Destiny, because Destiny painted her out to be a villain.
And she decided
a
to come to
malicious
Destiny about it.
person. Wait,
Zan,
what?
all I can ask you about this, Zan, is why did I continue to go on to Aiko and Perry and Aiden's streams after I thought that I was maligned? Right? It's because that I wanted to get my story out, that I felt like I was maligned.
For how many years?
Years?
Wait. Do you need to be maligned for years?
No.
For
How many
Anna
for
to
how
be
many
able to
years
talk
did
about-
Anivore appear on Destiny streams?
I don't fucking know. What, like a year or two or some shit like that? I don't remember the timeline verbatim. You can
Would that
go and look at the report itself.
and
The report
it
will tell
took-
you actually what happened.
And it took Destiny himself telling Anivore to stop coming because it's like she's only making the situation worse
Yeah,
at this point.
one person is the one in power, the streamer with the most power, and the other person is somebody who's being maligned. by somebody that had a sexual relationship with somebody that has a whole community hating on their every word. And so when you're trying to, clean up your image when people are calling you an insane stalker or a bad person or like a scumbag, worthy of like killing yourself or something like that, which Destiny's community definitely did, no doubt about it, told her to kill herself repeatedly, then yeah, you're going to want to make up with that community. You're going to make your image a lot more palatable. And you're going to be like, how can I do that? Well, how I can do that is talk to Destiny, sort this all out. Let him and his community hear my side out.
That's not what I would do, but okay.
Wait. You don't think, like, even if that's not what you would do, you don't think that's like a totally human thing to do where, like, you're in rumination about how somebody maligns you and now their entire community is like repeatedly like demonizing you, and that makes you feel like like your self-worth feels like at its all-time low and you'll do anything to fix it? You don't see how that can be taken advantage of by somebody like Destiny to make content out of, like a huge fucking scumbag?
Yeah, if I know that, I would never come to his streams explicitly.
Emery, do you
Wait,
think that
that's
any
not what I asked you.
communities that we engage in the same sort of behavior when it comes to women?
What?
I'm sorry, did you ask him something?
No, I was asking you, Emery. Do you think that the same sort of behavior that you just described when it comes to, like, maligning them when it comes to their response to abuse and farming it, do you think that we engage in any communities that also participate in the same behavior?
Me and you? Yeah.
We certainly do.
We absolutely do.
And I think that's kind of like, that's where I sympathize with Ukrainian Anna, is because she has an actual, like, reason to be associating with these people and gaining their favor. Why am I trying to gain the favor of these sorts of communities for them to not respect me? For them to ultimately...
I mean, like, be fair to... Okay, for me, first of all, I think, like, that's how, like, most of the internet operates. I'm not saying this is, like, inherently a good thing, but, like, I don't, like, ascribe this, like, I don't ascribe this, like, moral good or moral value, or I don't, like, say for, like, any person like Perry or Queeman or anything like that, I don't make these people out to be like good role models or anything. Like, I don't, like, if like I think they do something bad, I will legitimately tell you where somebody crosses the line or something like that.
But would you
I'd be
benefit from Perry's community
if I wouldn't engage in that. I think that's subhuman behavior. I would like.
If you could farm Perry's community for a good cause, would you do it without maligning Perry?
Absolutely, yeah. Like,
yeah, and I think that's what
the
like
problem
Anna's
is.
doing.
The problem is the it would be sanitizing, as if like if Perry did something bad, it would be like, oh, pretending as if Perry didn't do something bad when it's very clear.
But the thing is that, like, nobody asks Perry to answer for the things that he did for me, or did to me, right? Like, I was somebody who communicated with him in a capacity as, like, just a normal person, interacting with a normal person. I said, hey, you came onto my stream, you intimated to me that you were upset by the fact that I got agitated with you and I yelled at you, right? So after that interaction, I messaged Perry and I said, hey, I have an abuse history that makes me extra reactive to people yelling. So if you come on my stream, I'm gonna react to that. And then I deleted the bit about the abuse history afterwards, right? And he went on to farm that with Queeman and pressed me about it and asked me if I was mutually abused, if I was somehow a active participant in my abuse, if I somehow instigated it. I was asked to, answer to that on a stream.
Like, if you were to ask me about Annivore, did she did she participate in her own abuse? Of course she did.
Yeah. This isn't a place where humanity exists, Like, that's just where we're at. Yeah. I mean, it's kind of like when it comes to people like being like, oh, you have to, when it comes to this like minute, this, that, or the other, like he said, she said kind of, he said, she said debate when it comes to online shit. It's like, okay, I don't care. Like, I don't know.
Yeah, that's how I feel as well. It's kind of like it's um, not even mentioning like the situation globally. Uh, I think everyone would be better off spending their time in other ways.
Outside of internet politics, yeah.
Yeah. That's
Not even like participating in politics is a good thing, and like for democracy, it's essential. But
But streaming in particular is like us aligning us behind a demagogue where we can't like okay, because here's the thing I dislike about Destiny most of all, Zan, is that I think he kind of like he feeds into this idea that you can't just read the fucking news. That the world is too complex, that you have to have some guy who has a career reading Wikipedia. Guess what? Destiny fires up stream and reads Wikipedia for 8 hours. Anybody can just read Wikipedia for 4 hours. They would probably get more analysis out of it than any time the Destiny has actually analyzing that. We all have the ability to analyze the news. We don't need these people. We need these people for entertainment. That's why like I do value like entertainers. I think that the fact that so many people like Asmongold is like a testament to the fact that he's entertaining on stream. Not that he has anything significant to say. He's just fucking entertaining. That's what people go to this for. Like, I think that trying to say like, oh, you need to have this societal structure where like we're the good streamers that are like leading people towards the good thing with what we're saying. No, probably what we should be saying is that like we're dumbasses. We know nothing. And you should go analyze the fucking world on your own terms and form a community so that you're not susceptible to like any of the fucking ills that any person experiences. I don't know.
Well, yeah, I mean, I agree with this. Like, yeah, I think people are more susceptible to cult-like dynamics or cult-like thought processes. I mean, Trump gets off of this. Any cult leader does. Any politician can definitely.
Like, streaming inherently benefits the fascists, right? Because of the inherent, like, the things that the algorithm benefits, the things that the algorithm sorts for when it determines success.
It's part of anti-intellectualism and stuff like that. So, I mean, like, the problem is Destiny feeds that, tons of different streamers feed that. It's, like, to their benefit to do so. And then it's gotten to a point where, you know, whether it was Trump, whether it was, I don't know who exactly you can say is responsible for this. Maybe this was always the case and we just didn't realize it until, like, Trump took advantage of it. Where it's just like, it really is vibes and who makes me feel good about what I'm listening to. Who do I resonate with most on this opinion or whatever. But like, I have like a relatively open mind for a lot of ideas, which could be like a good thing and could be a bad thing. To where like I could be a little bit more susceptible to probably problematic ideas, right? But I can also like open my mind up to like the other perspective of like, hey, like, you know what? Maybe you know, maybe like my reactionary part of my brain doesn't want to immediately admit this, but like maybe I'm wrong here. Maybe I should think about this more thoroughly. Which, you know, inevitably comes to this kind of conclusion in my head where I'm like, I feel like this evolution over time, you know, as gave me the ideas in my head. As time went by, and I guess I'm a little bit more nuanced than most, like, you know, other. I don't want to immediately just say like I'm full leftist or whatever, but closer to leftist and liberal.
Yeah, that's what I was going to ask,
like,
Emery, is that do you have an ideological association that you have?
It's closer to leftist. Like if I had to like break down like everything that I've been like thinking about, it's just like even like ideas when I was like much more closer to like liberal framing or like even not even conservative, because I've never been a conservative. I always found like the right really gross, like really like lacking empathy, which always grossed me out.
I used to think empathy was
I always
a weakness.
lean towards this idea that like something felt really off. There's like a huge imbalance, and it's like I think things need to be fixed. And I think like it is a class issue. I was always thinking of most of this stuff being a class issue. I don't know if I had like the proper ways of like conveying exactly like what was the bigger problems. But I think like weirdly enough, as like I got smarter, it felt like politics got dumber, or like it was always pretty dumb. I have no idea which is which. But,
It's just the more you know, like the more you realize that. Like I think that there's no like if you're a strong ideologue, you're not effective in politics. That's really all it is. You have to be malleable. You have to be somebody like Zoran Monbani, where you can fucking shake hands with somebody you call a fascist one day, right? Because you don't want to join the revolution. You're not part of a gun club. You don't want to shoot that motherfucker in the face. You want to defeat him electorally. So you have to do the whole smiles and fucking whatever thing. This is the society that we exist in, right? Yeah. So like. I feel the same way, where like I used to think that empathy was a weakness, and now I realize that empathy is something you experience when you don't have this insulation from the world. Like you have I grew up wealthy. That's all I can really say, is that even though I grew up with a drug addict dad, where we were constantly in poverty, constantly facing like threats from our the housing being, you know, removed, somehow I had a bottom line where I had a place to stay, I had a home to live in, I had a person that cared about me who was well off more than other people, right? That's made me value things differently. Like I have to accept that I don't have the same pressures that other people have. And I think that a lot of Americans are unable to internalize that like, yeah, there's a lot of things that I don't have to fucking worry about that other people do. Like, just factoring that into your worldview is so fucking difficult for some people. I don't really know. That's why, like, I've always, like, I've ascribed to libertarianism because, like, I believe in people. I believe in self-governance, really, at its core. And yeah, I just think that we're experiencing too much, like, algorithmic influence when it comes to, like, what we determine is good for ourselves. Like, I don't know. That's why I think it's like so weird that people are like harassing Ukrainian Anna over like the fact that she's getting fucking bombed because she's associating with somebody in America when she's just sourcing shit. Like you can see that like arbitrarily as a survival mechanism. It's not this whole fucking, I don't know.
It's just like you can see how some people would feel like generally betrayed or whatever, even if it's under a understandable kind of set of circumstances. Like I could tell you, I understand pragmatically, politically, why Ukrainian Anna makes this decision. I can understand why, even through the cult-like brain of a DGG fan or whatever, why she would make this decision. You can jumble it all up into this big gumbo of understanding and empathizing with that conclusion of why somebody would think like they do. Doesn't make me any more upset. Like I was talking to Mr. Girl about, you know, how like I felt like, you know, it felt contradictory to how you would approach a lot of other subjects when he would talk about when I would approach him on Israel-Palestine, where it felt like he wouldn't be able to admit it's a genocide right now or talk about it in depth. And it felt like he was giving this leeway in the way he was talking about it, to where it's like, no, I don't think you would talk about this issue in the way that you've talked about other issues. Like, it feels like, you know, I understand why you're talking about it this way. I get it, but like, it still makes me very agitated with you. Yeah. Like, I'm still very upset. Like, I feel like you should do more work. And I feel like I think I'm like upset about stuff like that because I feel like it's like a part of something that like I've experienced in life, where it's just like I've done like overanalyzing, like overthinking, and like making sure that like I've come to the conclusions I came to like through like actual like being open-minded, or like actually like thinking through these things. And sometimes it feels like there's a blockade that happens, and I'm sure that happens with me too. I'm not perfect, obviously, but
yeah,
it feels like no one wants to do that work anymore. And it feels like that's like been a lot more common, even with like some of the more, you know, open-minded people, where it's just like, are we really like, are we scared to look deeper in? Are we scared to like understand, like
Right.
more? Like, what does this say about ourselves when we understand more and still make the selfish decision and end? You know what I mean? Like somebody fully understands like the harm that they could cause by supporting Israel through supporting like buying their Happy Meal at McDonald's or whatever, and like what kind of impact that leaves. Nobody wants to feel like they're like contributing to like a massive harm by buying a McDonald's fucking meal, but like inevitably, just like in every other set of circumstances, you probably in some way, shape, or form are going to harm someone somewhere because of like supporting a company that is doing something malicious with that, or supporting something malicious. And it's like you have to
Hold
like
on.
make those
Just
decisions pragmatically of like, where do I want to go with this? Like, and for me, it's just like, I'll try my hardest not to support something like that, but inevitably I will support something like that in some way, shape, or form. I don't know.
do you think there is a genocide in Ukraine?
I haven't looked enough into what's going on in Ukraine to be able to say definitively whether or not it's a genocide. This is literally the only reason I'm not saying it's a genocide or it's not a genocide. I don't pay attention enough to be able to make a responsible answer to any of that.
I want to defend Emery to say that's the reasonable take when you don't know enough information about something. That's how I felt about the Middle East largely. I would say I wouldn't take stances on it.
I would say, I'll describe it this way: if there's an intentional targeting, ethnic targeting, like an intent that seems to be malicious of getting rid of like a huge sector of the population, like just based on the intrinsic merits of like what they are or whatever. Like there's probably a little bit more to that than like what I'm saying right here. But like if you can show that or whatever like that, then I'll definitely like look into that and be like coming to my own conclusion of like, yeah, it seems like that's a genocide. Like when I've heard people talk about this, it does seem like it's more of a conflict between two armies at this point. But I'm pretty sure Russians are attacking like civilians and stuff like that. So if we want to go through those aspects, like I could see an argument being made for genocide. I just don't know enough like to be able to be like, wow, you know what I mean? Like I haven't paid attention enough. Like I really haven't. Like I'm not saying this to avoid the subject at all costs or anything. I just don't want to be irresponsible.
Everyone says that. I don't know. It's everyone has a strong opinion on Israel Palestine, but nobody has a strong opinion on Russia Ukraine, and whether or not there is a genocide there, or rather here.
Russia, Ukraine. Well, that's because America is funding the Palestinian genocide.
So you could say like there's
like
more
backing,
talk about we're backing a genocide.
Ukraine.
Yeah, that
Yeah,
we're.
so like
You're not, really, but okay.
I'm not really as concerned with like Russia. Like if you wanted to tell me Russia's in the wrong, it's like, yeah, I already believe that. So
yeah,
like if they were doing a genocide
YouTube
or not,
chat says
like,
I believe there's a genocide happening in Russia against Ukraine. I think most
like,
people
I wouldn't even doubt that there is a genocide happening. Like it's just like it's not something that I'm bringing up because like I feel like we already know who's in the wrong. Russia's in the wrong. Like, yeah.
Oh, you don't seem to do anything about it, is what I'm saying. So
you don't think I'm doing anything? Wait.
No, just in general, America, like.
Oh,
you know.
I mean,
I agree. We're not doing anything. We signed a memorandum saying that we would defend them that with a power structure that basically we always do that Russia was going to have a veto power over, that we weren't going to have to actually enact on. So
you also want to know why? It's because Trump is blackmailed. That's one of many reasons. There's tons of reasons. That's one of many reasons.
It's a red line too, where like Russia is always going to escalate with this threat of nuclear annihilation right? So all of the Western countries are going to be able to say, like, oh, if we actually put any sort of pressure on Russia, if they do anything that hurts our country, it's all on us. It's not Russia's fault. It's not them doing anything. It's all us. So like we can't. We're entirely ceding the escalation thing to them. My full belief is that Russia does not want nuclear Armageddon. They don't want nuclear war. Even if they were faced with a land invasion like they faced in Kursk, they would not respond with a nuclear retaliation. They would respond with a ground retaliation like they did. So it's the same sort of thing with like, I think we invaded China. I think that if America and China went head to head in a land invasion, the actual threat of nuclear retaliation would be so far behind anything else that the idea that Russia is threatening any sort of minor instigation of Western power bolstering Ukraine, making sure that they can defend their country, uphold their sovereignty, is a escalation of war into World War III. It's just fucking insane to me, right? It's like they're the ones that are escalating. They're the ones that are including other countries in this shit. They're holding us hostage. If we react at all, they're saying we're the ones that are initiating World War III because they're ready to fucking start World War III. Isn't that a problem? Like, even if we ignore that for now, isn't that gonna come back to bite us in the ass later when it comes to our European allies? That's what I'm fucking worried.
Oh, it will. It already is.
Yeah, it's part of the thing where, like, I don't mention enough, and I should actually, like, look more into this stuff about, like, any other genocides or anything happening like that, as much as Palestine's, primarily because our tax money goes to that. I don't want my fucking tax money going to that shit. I want my tax money going to supporting, like, a clearly compromised government that is clearly, like, more interested in appealing to a foreign state. And I don't give a fuck, like, it's not a, like, anti-Semitism thing. I don't give a fuck if it's fucking, it could be fucking Mexico doing it. It could be, like, literally any other state. And they have this level of influence and like, compromising our political, like, you know, pundits or, like, politicians and stuff like that, presidents. Like, I'd be just as upset. Like, I don't want that shit happening. Like, I don't want our fucking money going to supporting a state that clearly benefits more off of our money than we benefit off our own money. They get, like, free healthcare. They get, like, tons of, like, benefits as, from, like, I'm pretty sure their, like, colleges get, are free too. Like, I could be wrong on that, but, like, they get tons of different other things off of us. Like, this is bullshit. Like, no, absolutely unacceptable. I don't want to be supporting their fucking genocide. No thanks. Fuck that. Sick society.
I don't know, man. It's an understandable position to have, but while you're doing that, it doesn't look like you're all that concerned with standing by as Russia is genociding Ukrainians.
What do you want me to do about that? What do you think
You
I can
personally?
do about that? Wait. What do you think I can do about that? What do you think I, Emery, can do?
You personally?
Yeah, what do you think I can do?
Nothing. Sit
And why make
and
the
watch.
criticism? Why make the criticism?
Sit and watch.
Why make the criticism then? Why does this matter?
Oh, you don't get the criticism? You will sit and watch as they kill everyone. Does that not sound like a
don't care about
criticism
your
enough to
gay
you?
Fucking virtue signaling then.
I'm virtue signaling. You just
Yeah, you're
went
virtue
on a whole
signaling this
spiel
idea.
about
Like,
virtue
you actually
signaling
should care
on
about
Israel.
Russia, killing all the Ukrainians. Why do you care about Palestinians dying? Because, you know, America's supporting it. Why do you care about the Palestinians? Why do you care? You should care about Ukrainians. It's like, yeah, I do care about Ukrainians. That's like,
You don't, though.
that's not an issue. I know
Clearly.
who's the problem. I know Russia's the problem. What do you want me to do about that?
What are you doing
What do you
about
want me to do
Israel
about
Palestine?
that? Wait, no, I'm asking you. What do you want me to do about that?
Okay, but what are you doing about
You're saying
Israel
sit
Palestine?
and watch. Wait, okay, sit and watch. What am I supposed to sit and watch? Am I supposed to wait?
Both genocides going on. Yeah, that's what you like to do, apparently.
I like to sit and watch genocides go on.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Because
what do
that's
you want me
you're
to do?
doing,
Wait,
yeah.
hold on. What do you want me to do to fix the Palestinian genocide?
I'm the target of genocide. Why are
Wait,
you asking me?
what do you hold on. What do you want me to do to fix the Palestinian genocide?
Engage with this question, Zan.
Any
I can tell you what you can do to try to help ease.
No, anything is better than nothing.
Hold on.
No.
I can tell you what you
Hold
can
on,
do to help ease. What I can do to
you gave me
support,
the mic
donate,
right now, so let me
donate
speak,
money,
okay?
donate funds, get politically active, be more vocal about, hey, there's the genocide going on in Palestine, or hey, there's this genocide going on in, say, Ukraine. Say it's exactly what you say it is, which I would believe. I would be more than willing to believe, because it's Russia.
Why did you just say it's
Russia.
exactly what you say it is?
Because I don't know enough about. Why are you getting fucking butthurt? What are you butthurt about?
Hey, this
It's
is
just
a
so
sensitive topic.
What do you? I don't understand what you're butthurt about.
If we're engaging in this about, like, if we're engaging this, we're gonna engage with it respectfully. What is, okay, so, like, I wasn't paying too much attention. What's going on now?
I don't know what he's butthurt about. He said, "I'm the victim of a genocide. Are you Ukraine? Are you in Ukraine?"
Yes.
I am Ukrainian.
Zen is in
Okay.
Kiev. He's literally in fucking Kiev. He's literally getting banned. He's getting bombed every day. The reason I became passionate in this fucking war is because I was in voice calls with my friend, playing videos and video games and doing normal Westerner things. And every now and then he'd be like, "Oh, sorry, I have to go fucking hide. There's shaheads coming," and I would hear the in the fucking
Okay,
background.
what do you want me to do to help you? What do you need? What do you need me to deny the Palestinian genocide?
What? What made you think that
It
that's
seems
the
like that.
solution
It
to
seems
any-
like that's like your interest. You're like, why the fuck do you care about Palestinian
No.
genocide? Why aren't you crying
don't-
about the Ukraine?
okay,
That's
there's
never
certainly-
anything
Russia.
that I said. Hold on.
No, that's
When did I
literally.
Wait,
say
let's
that?
back up.
That's
Let's
when
back
did
up.
I
Let's
say
back up.
that?
Let's back up. This is crazy. So, I don't know much about what's going on in Israel versus Palestine, versus Gaza and the West Bank. So, like, in the beginning, like, during October 7th, if somebody asked me, do I think there's a genocide going on? I would say, I don't know. Right? Does that mean I'm not empathetic towards those people, or does that mean that I just understand that I'm uneducated on it? Like, and I'm just being reasonable. So,
Are you asking me, or are you asking him?
I'm asking both of you. So, Zan,
Oh,
if he
I
doesn't
think- yeah,
believe
no.
that there's a genocide going on in Ukraine, do you not think that, like, the first thing you should do is be like, okay, here's why I think there's a genocide going on in Ukraine. Here's why I think it's bad. Like, Emery is okay for not being educated on this. This is a nuanced subject. Genocide is a legal term that is weaponized a lot
It's
in
not
these
nuanced. It's pretty
situations.
clear. It's been 4 years to figure it out.
No, it's nuanced in that it requires.
Wait, what did I just tell you though? What did I tell you? I said I'm not politically informed enough on Ukraine, Russia. I don't pretend to be. So I told you an honest answer. I said I don't know, and I'd be
It's been
more than
4
willing to say
years.
it's a genocide.
You're not curious at
since
all?
it's Russia, and since the conflict is
Zan.
so crazy
Zan,
that
he
it would
didn't
be
know.
more,
He
and
didn't
I've
say he was
heard that
Chris.
civilians keep dying, and that they're targeting children. Then I'd be more than willing to say it's a genocide. I have no problem with that.
That seems
So I
reasonable.
don't know what you're. I don't know
I
what
think
you're
I think if he
wanting
doesn't
to
know,
money
he
about.
shouldn't be saying one way or the other. It's a very loaded term, and it's something you should say carefully.
Something that virtue signaling, quote unquote, Palestinian supporters said to me.
See, this is what you're crying about, really. Why do you care about Palestine? Why do you care
No,
about Palestine?
no.
Why do you care about Palestine?
Just-
Well,
This is what
just
you
let me
actually
finish.
care about. Like
Just-
I don't
just let me
actually
finish.
believe. I don't
Just-
actually
just
believe
let
you
me
give a
finish.
shit
Just-
about like
just let me
me and
finish.
whether or not
Just
I
let me
support
finish.
Ukraine. I think
And you'll
no,
understand
because you're like, oh, you're just virtue
No,
signaling
no.
about
That's
Palestine. This is
never
what you
anything
actually.
that I
This is
said.
what you
That's
actually
never
care
anything
about.
that I said.
I don't actually believe you. I don't believe you. I don't believe you. This is what you actually care about. Why do you care about Palestine?
Yeah, I'm just a scammer, right? Just a scammer Ukrainian.
I don't know
That's
what you
just
are.
scamming
I
people,
don't know
I
what
right?
you
didn't
are.
think
I'm
Emery
just
said
telling you,
that.
this
This
is
is
what
getting
I-
a
No, but
divisive
that's what
topic.
you're implying. That's what you're implying, right?
I'm moderating. Shut the fuck up. I'm moderating both of you, okay? I'm moderating both of you real quick. Okay? I'm moderating both of you. So,
That's fine.
can you both describe to me what is the discrepancy you guys have right now? Because I feel like you guys agree on a lot. What is the problem?
I don't know.
Zan?
I don't know.
Zan
I don't know
first.
what he's
Zan
fucking
first.
crying about.
what is your problem? And then Emery, what is your problem?
Oh, as I was trying to say, what I'm getting a lot is Ukrainian news being all over. Everyone seemingly knowing about Ukraine, everything that's on the news. And then I hear something like this where the person has no idea, not at all, what's going on.
So
So
you think, yeah, so you believe that Americans are uninformed of the situation, and that upsets you that they wouldn't immediately decry it as a genocide, right?
I get the sense that it's more like willful ignorance. Like Americans are picking and choosing which topic to care about.
Do you think they're okay? So do you think they're picking and choosing? Because like one thing I've experienced since the election is that we have a lot more things to focus on every day. We're told things to worry about every single day, right? I do believe, like, I say this like understanding, right? When we met Zan in 2023, I took a large responsibility on myself to learn everything about, you know, Ukrainian history, everything having to do with Russian occupation, the Bolsheviks, and everything like that, right? Because of that, I'm able to make a very easy, like, exclamation. Yeah, what Russians are doing right now in Ukraine is genocidal in its intent, right? I understand that I took on that like I took on that only because I had a personal connection with you. Most Americans, and it's unfortunate because there's not very many Ukrainians, that most Americans are not going to have a personal connection with the Ukrainian where they feel the obligation to learn all of that history. So I feel responsibility as an American. I don't think you should have to feel responsibility with this as a Ukrainian, but I feel responsibility with this as an American to correct the record when it comes to if people aren't educated on whether or not you like the Russian invasion of Ukraine is a genocide. I want to inform them more than.
Can I say my thing?
Yeah, go on, Emery.
I'm gonna be 100,000% real with both of you here. I am a white, straight passing, cis male. I don't have to give a fuck about any of this shit. I don't.
You do?
I don't have to give a shit about any of this. I could
do.
just live in ignorance my entire life. I'd
Yeah.
probably
No.
be fine.
No.
So, hold
Let
on,
him
hold
talk,
on,
Sam.
hold
Let
on.
him
Look,
talk.
you said your shit. You said your shit. Let me say my shit. I have no problem with saying that Russia is committing a genocide. I don't want to be irresponsible with my language if it turns out that that is not the case. But as far as I can see, that seems to be the case. I'd be more than willing to accept that. The reason I answered you, honestly, I told you I didn't look into it. I haven't been paying attention enough to it. I was honest with you. And one of the reasons I didn't look into it and I didn't look deeply into the conflict is because I already have my opinion set in stone. I already take issue with Russia doing what they're doing. I'm already anti-Russia. I'm already pro-Ukraine. I think the conflict in and of itself already is firmly established for Russia to be in the wrong. And from every little piece of information I've heard that I haven't looked super duper in depth in, it seems like they're escalating and doing even more reprehensible shit. I'm pro Zelensky. I've been on Zelensky's side for every like little meeting that he's had with Trump. And I think Zelensky's been getting dealt a unfair hand. So I don't know what you think you're getting at with this idea that I hate Ukrainians or anything like that. That's simply not the case. That's just not the case. So there you go.
Well, that's not what I was getting at. It's more so that Americans, especially white cisgender, cis-passing
Mm-hmm.
suburban residents, right?
Mm-hmm.
They've been uh, telling me quite actively that the amount of news on Ukraine uh, is retracting from the Palestinian struggle.
Okay, I'm not one of those people. I don't say that.
That's great. But
Okay, cool.
I think you should be like more aware, not of Ukraine, like it's whatever you want to do about that. But I think uh, you should be more aware of the kind of argumentation that's going about when it comes to whether or not there's a genocide in either country.
If you're telling me to be more aware of stuff like that, then I would agree with you. This was what
Yeah.
I said to Mr. Grohl, and I was upset with Mr. Grohl about. I agree with you. I should be more aware.
I agree.
I was
that,
honest
like,
with you of why I was not aware, but I should be more aware. I agree with you.
Yeah,
I don't have
and
a problem with
it's
that.
it's more so. I guess I overcorrected in terms of assuming that you're one of the people like that, but
No,
um,
absolutely not. Anytime I've
it's
heard like even lefties talk about like anti-Ukraine takers, or just been retarded shit. It's just like absolutely stupid fucking arguments, and I'm like, why the fuck is this your take? It seems like contradictory to what you would say about any other issue.
I mean, that's
exactly
kind of how I.
that's
That's how
what
I feel every time like somebody is like Azov Nazis. You guys like Azov Nazis, and it's like, okay, you understand
Yeah.
that everybody in Israel is like condemn Hamas, condemn Hamas, and it's like you realize that these are like
Yeah, it's the same like concept to me, where
needs
it's just like,
yeah.
there are resistance movements. Obviously, there will be resistance movements that are not perfect. I understand this more than well. So,
but yeah, it's more to the point that there is a lot of people seem to be actually no, there are actual government agents facilitating a lot of the um, miscommunication
Are you talking about like
between people.
intentional bot interference in our social media?
Yes, basically, there are government agents that are making it harder to talk about these issues. I think that's where some of the, if not all of the argumentation along the lines of what I've had just described comes from.
yeah, I don't know. I don't think you've seen any of my streams or anything like that, but I'm like super doomer pilled about a lot of politics. So like when I said Trump was like blackmailed, that's like one of the reasons why shit is not getting done. I think that's like most of like politics is most people at this point seem to be like compromised in one way, shape, or form. So it seems like a lot of things that like should be getting done, like for you know the
I feel like
parties that are being taken advantage of, or like basically facing genocide or anything like that, are not getting anything done for them because of stuff like this. America's not operating how they should be in these kind of situations.
yeah.
Yeah, and that's where where I think Ukrainian Anna is trying to sort of, at least in some way, nudge you in the right direction of like starting to think in terms of uh, you're not safe. You're not safe. Not anymore.
We're
That
safer
world has
now.
been destroyed. for
Yeah.
now, maybe,
Yeah, we have a
but it's
temporary.
as soon as or what's the expression, as whatever that expression is, uh, you're likely to stop being safe in the coming years. I'm not even talking decades, and I'm not even talking half decade. In the coming like 2 3 years, maybe 4, uh, your safety is gone.
I don't doubt that.
And it's like Ukrainians, uh, some a portion of Ukrainian population has been guilty of that, and it is still guilty of that, and we're all paying the price for that naivete. So I think Ukrainian Anna is operating from that lens where adolescence shouldn't be just a horrible tale that happened somewhere else for you.
I see like our international defense structure breaking down, and like what I wonder is like if we let Russia just get the best of this peace deal that's currently going on in Geneva, right? That you're gonna have to accept not prosecuting Russians for war crimes during this. You're gonna have to accept not expanding NATO. You're not gonna have your own self-determination when it comes to association with international organizations. You're gonna have to shrink the size of your military, and probably have to concede land that you haven't even lost militarily. Yeah, like that's not.
You're not even that peace deal. You should stop thinking about it. That's not happening. That's Russians themselves will not accept it.
Yeah.
Like it's just noise. Just
so
noise
what I'm
for the
saying
sake
is
of
like the only thing that we've been offered in terms of like the West doesn't have any sort of leverage to pressure Russia with. So the only thing we have to negotiate with are these maximalist demands from Russia, right? What do? It just seems like we keep doing the same thing. Where like we keep having these maximalist demands from Russia, and then Ukraine says no, these are the things that we can't capitulate on if we want to maintain our sovereignty, which is very reasonable, and all of Europe agrees that it's reasonable. And then we just do nothing. Like we just kind of accept that the NATO structure of defense has failed. Right? I mean,
yeah. That's basically what's going on. Yeah.
It's the way I see it is that even if Poland is a NATO affiliated country, what happens if Russia rolls into NATO? Are we going to nuke Russia? No, because it's going to lead to nuclear Armageddon. Just the same thing that people say, oh, what if we send more military defense, more ground defense to Ukraine? What if we enforce their borders with NATO troops? Oh, Russia's going to nuke us. So that's what I worry about, is that we don't really have an answer to this war. And this war is a direct response to the Cold War. And we don't have anything. We have nothing. We're gonna have a great war in 5 years. I don't really know what to tell people other than that. Like, yeah.
Maybe even sooner than that, actually, because, like I said, Russians have been putting warplanes into NATO airspace for like a dozen times.
They've
maybe
been
even 2 dozen
bombing
times.
Romania and Poland, like, consistently throughout this war, right? They've violated Polish and Romanian airspace.
Airspace, yeah. In the past 2 months, things like that happened like for a dozen times, if not more.
And I think this is why I really like hated Destiny for not talking more about this war in 2024, because I feel like this is the most impactful war globally. People don't want to think about it because it's just two European nations fighting each other, and two European nations fighting each other historically have been able to figure it out without much problem for the rest of the, except for, like, you know, the ones, except for Poland, except for the times we got into fucking world wars, right? So it's like, I feel like people aren't treating this. People are using World War III as a boogeyman to not have actual effective soft power, to actually not have effective military defense. Like, we have no answer for if what if a ranch's country wants to just decide to capture land? Are we gonna threaten to nuke them? Do they have nukes? If they have nukes, what are we gonna do? What are we gonna do?
Yeah. Yeah. And I think like about 5 years ago, Russians and the Chinese sat down and were like, yo, what are they actually gonna do if we rolled in?
No,
What, nuke
China
us?
knows.
Really?
China knows that we're going to respond with a land invasion
Oh,
and
will you?
it's crazy
Will
that
you?
Russia
No,
is
no,
the
no,
only
no, no, no,
country.
no.
It's
Hold on. Will
crazy
you?
that Russia is the only
No, no, no,
country
no,
that
no,
seems
no.
to think with the
I don't
calculus
accept that
that if
premise.
they respond with a land invasion, that we're not going to respond with a land invasion because we're going to be afraid of a nuclear
No.
like freaking threat. It's only Russia that responds that way. Pakistan and India
No.
have fucking had tons of conflicts. They don't nuke each other.
No, 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 no. Hold on. What makes you think that that China, looking at your response to Russia, is gonna think anything other than, oh shit, we can actually roll in and they're not gonna do anything?
True. No, I'm not even worried. I have no faith in the the Sino-Russian like alliance. I have zero faith in that. I know it's entirely economic, and if they see them as like economically weak, they are going to side with the West. China is entirely pragmatic when it comes to that. That's why so many stupid fucking liberals look at their economic structure and say, "Oh, we need state communism like that. We need that structure of fucking government." Never mind all the civil rights abuses, because they're actually winning. Like, they are pragmatic, if nothing fucking else. Yeah. I don't worry about the Chinese interfering with a Russo-Ukrainian war.
So why Trump has a focus on Venezuela and South America, as well as similarly Canada and Greenland. I don't think he's actually going to do anything. Greenland and Canada. I think he forgot about that at this point.
He forgot about it. He's gonna go with Venezuela. I have no fucking clue why we're thinking about a land invasion of goddamn South America. This is insane.
Yeah, and like it's so I don't understand how Americans became so docile.
We don't have values. We don't understand why we shouldn't expand and why should respect the sovereignty of countries that have less socioeconomic statuses than us. Because
our education
I feel like
system is like totally fucked. It's
I feel like for the
absolutely
past 25 years, like,
bad.
yeah, how can anybody determine anything but like, oh, they're poor, therefore they're morally lesser than us? Like, I grew up with a liberal grandmother, and even she kind of fucking espoused that shit, where it's like, if you can't get ahead in the world, it's kind of your own fucking fault. She believed in a neoliberal world structure. So, like, if we believe in a neoliberal world structure, it's very easy for us to look at countries that we have actively fucking stifled the economic growth of and be like, oh, it's your fault. You had the same rules that we had, obviously.
Pretty crazy. It's pretty insane.
Yeah.
I'm just waiting
It's
for
pretty-
Trump to take Zoran's whole aesthetic and just do socialism. He loves Zoran. He loves Zoran now.
Yeah, I don't know
the problem
about
I
that.
have is that I don't like state socialism any more than I like rampant capitalism. I think that like the market should be largely in the hands of the people. It should be held in some capacity. Okay, so we should have a free market. The government should intervene where it is determined negative to the market for the government to not intervene. So like food deserts, like resource droughts and shit like that, because the government presides over a large portion of land, where if they preside over a large portion of land and they economically stabilize it, it benefits everybody within that environment, right? Huh? So
Hold on, I still haven't heard how you're gonna how you're gonna reason around the fact that China looks your response to Russia and goes like, damn, we can just invade Taiwan, huh?
yeah, it's because the idea of military defense that the United States engaged in the 1980s, 1990s is dead. Because a lot of people were born in the 1990s and they grew to the age of majority and they said, why should I have to uphold treaties that were signed before I was born? Because we're stupid. That's it. That's the only reason.
Yeah, and you're gonna suffer for it. I don't know what else to say. Like, so many lessons just wasted. Like,
when it comes to the nuclear proliferation treaty, I'm very passionate about that. That, like, it was a very good thing the United States engaged in, and we had no intention to follow through on the ramifications of what we engaged in. And even now, like, we tried to bomb Iran out of nuclear capability, and we probably did nothing. 5 years, they're gonna have the ability to nuke whoever the fuck they want, and we're gonna have to deal with that. And it's gonna be a new nuclear Armageddon scare. Because we could not exercise American soft power. Because we were stupid, and we thought that we could just do everything with bombs. It's great. It's great.
Very sad my snarking broke this man. I'm sorry, Zan. Feel better.
Nah. Your snarking did not break anybody. Sadame, your snarking gives people content for days. Yeah. Substance says correctly, 80 years of rules-based international order, the triumph of getting out of Cold War, brought down by stupidity. That's really what it is. Whenever I hear any Americans say, well, I didn't agree to this thing 30 years ago, as a person who just became the age of voting, why don't you agree to it, bitch? Can you explain? Or do you just expect the world to cater to your fucking baby brain? Like, I don't get it. I just don't fucking get it. I honestly don't get it. How people can get to the age of majority and be like, I know everything. I absolutely am fucking the person who should decide how my fucking economy runs, how my fucking government runs. I have lived 18 years of my life wanting to fuck and eat and not be sad. Surely I know enough. I hate these people.
Yeah, I'm pretty ageist.
I'm becoming a little bit ageist and a little bit like...
pretty Americanist.
Yeah, Americans suck.
Yeah.
We suck.
You do.
We're the
Yeah, I'm
unbombed.
American, and I know that Americans.
That's
suck.
why, like, Emery, how do you think about the slur of the unbombed? Like, I'm describing us as unbombed and Zan is bombed. I'm giving him a special
that's not
privilege.
Entirely true. I mean, 9/11 happened, but you know.
Okay, but you know
for the
that
most
he is.
part-
You know that Zan is like actively worried about fucking strikes going on in his town like every day, right?
I know. I'm being cutesy with the technicality.
Okay. So when I describe
Pretty much.
the bombed and the
We're a pretty
unbombed,
privileged place most of the time.
Yeah.
I mean,
I'm
most
describing
of
the
our
people
threats.
that
Most of the things that we have to be afraid of as Americans in of itself are our own mental illness. Our school
Yeah.
shooting stats are pretty crazy. The level of misogyny and sexism. I mean, that's a lot of places to be fair, but
Yeah.
you know, like doing some crazy stalker ass behavior to women, normalizing stuff like that.
It's not
I
like
don't know,
Americans don't have troubles.
Black people get it pretty rough here.
Yeah, it's just that we can't relate to somebody, for example, having to go into a shelter every night because there are drone strikes. We can't relate to somebody having invested themselves in a college degree for 20 years of their life to suddenly have that bank that holds their money possibly not exist in a couple days because of war, right? That's what Ukrainians are facing. We can't experience that. And that's what I really mean by the bombed versus the unbombed. We live in a lot of insulation. There is a whole lot of things that we can weather as Americans before things get so fucking bad, and that's what I worry about most of all. Like 9/11 was 9/11 was like an impactful thing because we were like, oh, the horrors of war can come here. You know, this sort of destructive event happens every day around the world. And we care so much about it. Right?
Well, that event happened because of our own imperialism and, you know, like what behaviors we engaged in. Like there was
it was a terrorist attack, but yeah. We probably deserved it, but yeah, it wasn't like, yeah. None of the victims of 9/11 deserved what they got, but we as a country engaged in behavior that allowed that level of animus to be directed towards us. The reason that I wanted to get into international political economy as like a study is
giving so much ammo to Russian bots right now and Chinese bots. It's pretty crazy.
Zan, go on. What do you mean?
No, it's just you're like so nonchalant.
About what?
Nonchalant about like Americans deserve 9/11.
I'm not agreeing. I'm saying that we engaged in military behaviors that led to the destabilizations of those regions, that led to radicalism, right?
Oh, I'm just saying it's like prime time ammo for Russia today.
Hmm.
What's primetime ammo? I'm sorry.
Like Americans saying Americans deserve 9/11, like that's prime time ammo for Russia today.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
Explain.
It's like
I'm interested in that.
Oh, you don't actually know how that works, huh?
No, I'm actually asking you. Yes, I'm really curious
yeah,
because I feel like I'm
only
failed
just
here.
realized. I'm so sorry.
Does
I'm so
America
sorry.
and its government not deserve criticism for engaging in imperialism that would cause repercussions of something like 9/11 to happen? Yeah, I think we do deserve criticism for that. Yes.
Oh yeah, maybe like
we put our own citizens at risk, and
sure, yeah.
detriment was 9/11.
That,
yes, actually, I do think I'm allowed to criticize my own government on how they fuck us over and completely get us into situations where our own fucking like buildings are taken down. Yeah, absolutely, I do. I do think I get to criticize that. I don't think you are in the right of criticizing me for making that criticism. So yeah.
Right. Yeah.
Wait, is it Hotmail or Gmail?
That's basically how.
I don't give a fuck what Russia does with that information. Like I give a fuck.
Government toppling propaganda is me.
Don't do that fucking shit in the first place, and Russia won't be able to utilize it as fucking propaganda.
But that did happen. So like.
I don't know what the criticism is. Don't make the criticism.
It's not a criticism.
Our
it's
civilians
more
died
so
for nothing because America.
I can hear that you're not willing to
No, I'm not willing to.
Yeah,
No, I'm not willing to listen. No,
right.
not to
What
this.
I'm
No.
saying is more so for the people that are willing to listen. Uh, that this kind of thing is how basically. So, bringing in an example from Ukraine, whenever there are legitimate criticisms of how the Ukrainian military goes about war in general, those criticisms are immediately hijacked by the FSB
I don't care.
to spin. I'm not saying it for you specifically.
I know.
This
Like
is
I'm saying.
this
Why
is
should anyone care?
because it will be used against you.
If you do something wrong, it should never be criticized. If it's used by an enemy, what is this argument?
That's not the argument at all.
That is the argument. What am I supposed to take away from this
No,
argument?
that's not the argument.
What is the argument?
The argument is that you should be more careful and more targeted with your criticism.
No, I won't, because I know what I mean, and you know what I know. You know what
Who
I
else? Who else knows?
Who else knows?
Does everyone know what you mean?
I think I'm making it very clear, and I think I've made it very clear what I mean.
I don't think so.
Don't admit it because your enemies will, like, this is literally the logic. Don't admit it because your enemies will use it. Don't admit to any wrongdoing. Don't admit to anything
No,
that your
that's
government has
not
ever
what
done
I'm
bad.
saying at all.
Don't
Like,
ever disagree with the FBI, the CIA, or
keep
any other
strumming.
government agency, because maybe Russia will use that
strumming.
information,
Yep.
in their propaganda.
That's not a maybe, but yeah,
Like, yeah. Do you see how
that's not a maybe.
stupid this comes off as?
What you're saying is pretty stupid, but that's not what I
No,
said at
do
all.
you understand how stupid and selfish this comes off as?
What you're saying is incredibly stupid and selfish, yes.
How is it stupid and
But
selfish? Explain.
that's not at all what I said.
What is stupid and selfish about my criticism of the American government using imperialism the way they did to have the result of our own American citizens being targeted for 9/11 to happen? What's stupid about that?
Because then I go out. I bought myself some clout. I give myself a platform, buy myself a platform. Then I go, yeah, America just shouldn't exist. Really, we should dissolve.
You're fighting ghosts, bro. What are you talking about?
They are ghosts, yeah.
No, you're fighting ghost. Do you think you're talking to Hassan here? Does your whole world revolve around DGG Hassan politics for your Ukraine takes as well? Like, you living in Ukraine? I don't understand what this argument's supposed to be.
Still don't get it, huh?
No, I don't, because you're talking in vague generalities and you don't seem to be too coherent when delivering it.
Yep, that's also one of the tactics.
Yeah.
There is no
What's
easy way.
the tactics? What is the wrongdoing that I've done? I don't understand. I just genuinely don't understand.
Can you?
I'm not sure. I'm not sure what I'm supposed to be picking up from this.
Do you
Basically,
think?
it feels like
Do you think there? Do you think there exists?
basically what it
Do you
feels like
think
you're
there
doing is
exists?
it
Do
feels
you
like you're
think there
tone
exists?
policing me.
Do you think
It
there
feels like you're
exists
woke scolding
propaganda?
me on how I should talk about
Do-
my American government.
No, I'm actually trying to teach you strategy, but
It's not strategy. I don't give a fuck about your strategy. I'm not some fucking politician. I'm not a political pundit. I'm some dumb fucking streamer on the internet.
we're gonna use that too. But what I'm saying is, do you think there exists propaganda that is specifically made in a way to be hard to explain?
You're basically just saying don't say anything, don't criticize anything about your
No,
American government because Russia
that's
will
not
use
what
it.
I'm saying.
That's basically your argument. What am I supposed to gauge
No,
from any
no,
of this?
that's not what my argument is. Can you answer the question though?
All right. Start from the beginning. What is your position here? Start from the very beginning. What is your position? Be very clear. Don't talk in vague generalities. Be very clear with what you mean here. What is your critique of what I just said?
Can you answer the question though?
No. Start from the very beginning. I will be very generous. I'm going to calm down. I'll be very generous. I'll be very charitable. I'll steel man your entire point here.
Okay, so I'm gonna change the beginning a little bit.
Okay.
And I'm gonna start with, do you think there exists propaganda that is intentionally made in a way to be hard to explain?
You need to elaborate on that. Do you think it's there's convoluted propaganda is basically what you mean, right? Do you think
Not
it's
just
convoluted?
convoluted, it's specifically made in a way to be hard to talk about.
Can be, yeah, there can be, yeah. You mean like controversial propaganda? Like this is a
No,
controversial piece of propaganda, right?
So
Like
we obviously
No, no,
understand
no.
that propaganda can exist on both. Like, if somebody is propagandizing, they don't necessarily need to be doing it coherently. So we can have propaganda on both ends of a spectrum of political discussion, right?
Have you ever
So-
heard of there was a protest like 10 years ago or something, where the protest and the counter protest has been paid by Russia. So organized and paid for.
there's counter protests paid for by Russia, and then there's like the other side for by Russia, right?
Yeah.
That's what
Yeah.
you're saying?
So we all
Both
understand that
sides being
propaganda is a neutral term, meaning that capital can influence the ability for a certain viewpoint to be projected towards the masses.
He's saying both sides can be weaponized or whatever. Like say like there's like a leftist or whatever, and they could be paid handsomely for espousing their leftist beliefs about a specific American government for one, and they could be sincere beliefs, but it aids in Russia propaganda. Like they're intentionally doing that a lot more overtly, especially for Russia.
So what I would ask
Because
is
of
that
like a paycheck or because for whatever reason.
of the people
that's
here,
what
do we
he's saying, I think,
fear the biasing capacity of a foreign government such as Russia paying an actor who is a political media person to produce content that is intentionally divisive, not necessarily even with a specific goal in mind, just intentionally to divide it? Do we think might be a thing that happens?
Yeah, I do think that happens. Where is this going?
I think that's the easiest way to I think that intentional propaganda campaigns to paint a narrative are much less effective than just intentionally disrupting narratives. So I think that foreign governments have a advantage in interfering in our way of conversing with each other by throwing in these propagandistic statements, right? Sorry, you guys can go on. I was half paying attention.
Well, I just want to know where he's leading towards. Where is the criticism for my talking point? Bringing it up. What's the problem with that?
The problem is generally in the fact that actually I'm trying to think of if there was anything you said that couldn't be used as propaganda, but pretty much everything you said could be utilized in some shape or form as propaganda.
Okay.
Ukrainian media has learned pretty quickly to basically hammer down statements to the point where there is no room for interpretations. There's a singular understanding that you can have about a statement. And so what I'm trying to say is, do you think you could make those sorts of statements?
You want me to be more clear with my language, like singular with my language, and not have potential double meanings? Is that what you are trying to ask of me, right?
Well, not in any way to order you around or anything like that, but I'm more so asking, do you think it would be easy for you to switch to that sort of language, or take it as the primary form of communication if need arises?
I think the problem with this is that this is like a lot bigger of a task than you actually think it is. I think some people want to simplify it as if like that is this like super easy thing to do, as if you can like singularly sorry, I'm fucking up my language here, as if you can say something in a singular manner with only one meaning, and it can't be interpreted in multiple other various different ways to even inadvertently help propagate, like, say, like pro-Russia or pro-China ideals or whatever through that sentence, or through that like conveying of like this ideal, this political idea or whatever. I think, say, like I say Russia, the American government was irresponsible in terms of handling 9/11 and how it happened. I think this can be, obviously, this idea can be taken and abused to spread anti-American propaganda by those very same people. But it can also be true. Like, it can be a fair criticism by the American people who are seeing through the lies and manipulation that the American government decided to do, you know, like, or like by the decision they decided to make. So like, it feels like when you're telling me, you know, this is propaganda that can be spread by Russia, that I shouldn't be saying it at all. Like, I don't know if that's what you intended on saying, but that's how it comes off. And it's like, well, like, I'm sorry, I'm not going to do that. I know it can possibly aid that, but that's not my responsibility. My responsibility is to give my opinion on something and say what I really think of it. And, you know, it's the responsibility of the American government to not be doing shit like that in the first place, for the American people to not trust them and have those opinions in the first place. We should be able to trust our American government. They shouldn't be making these kind of decisions that lead us into these things that happen to us, you know, like as a response, you know, like, I don't know what you would exactly want from me.
Well, for America, I'm still trying to figure out how it would be possible for you to learn this new way of war. But
if you think this is just an American problem, like it's definitely an American problem for sure, but I would not be surprised, and I would be more than willing to bet you tons of money if I had it on me. I'd be like, dude, China probably has this issue. Russia definitely probably has this issue. I'm sure there's tons of people spreading tons of misinformation, disinformation out there, and like a lot of people believe a lot of stupid shit or buy into a lot of stupid shit at the benefit of the governments that spread it. So
we have a lot more control over our information economy, though.
Yeah, I mean, like, we're just garbage inherently, though. Like, we're all over. Like, part of the problem is capitalism in terms of how it, like.
Well, that's why, like, when I like
in Russia,
being a moral
hold on.
fact,
In Russia, it's illegal to criticize the government.
Yeah.
I
So
know.
like here in
That's
America,
horrible.
like when I see the content direction of stuff and I'm like criticizing it, I'm saying we're caring too much about this stupid fucking bullshit minutia. Like, yeah, like what do I do about that? What do I do about the fact that it's just more interesting to cover stuff that is absolutely inconsequential to the global scale? Like what do I do about that as an American when like most of our economy, most of our military power is solidified in this one country that is transfixed by superficial bullshit? What do I do about that? Like I feel like it's a spiritual movement more than anything else. Like I feel like that's how I have to appeal to people, right? It's like you have to care about other humans. You have to stop caring about capital. You have to stop caring about the stupid fucking metric and your own satisfaction. Like,
Russia and Israel both fuck with our shit a lot. Yeah. The bots is a huge problem. Elon Musk is a huge problem.
Do you think they're the same kind of a problem?
What, Elon Musk and the bots?
No. Israel and Russian bots.
They're the same kind of problem? Yeah.
I don't think so.
Sure. Don't know why you would think but both equal problems to me.
No.
Spreading
Israel is interested
misinformation or
in America
disinformation
continuing to
about-
exist.
Wait,
yeah, I
what?
would say that there's more of a direct opposition between Russian and American prosperity than Israeli and American prosperity. I would say that they're more intrinsically linked, so that like Russian bots are probably trying to subvert and destroy American values and things that result in our prosperity, whereas Israeli bots are probably trying to.
It seems like you guys are being technical on how many bots there are and like what they want to prioritize first.
No, I know this is how this has been since 2016. Like, do you realize that the first instances of interference in our elections that was so notable that we had to actually
I'm talking about a moral scale of how
intervene
problematic
in a
it is.
legal
I'm not talking about
Russians. So like
I'm not talking about equal. Oh my god, no one's listening to me. Holy shit.
Go on.
I'm not talking about an equalized of like, where are they prioritizing first? I'm sure it's like, I'm sure Russia's getting priority. I'm saying it's like an equal moral problem. That's what I'm saying. I don't, like, that's all. Obviously there's bots for both sides.
I think personally that in one situation we had a charter that ostensibly like it established the nation of Israel, right, and our defense of it and stuff like that. We also had a charter that said that we also had a like that basically we were going to respect the sovereignty of this country if they gave up a very substantial defensive property, right? So like, why do we care about the establishment of this country for biblical reasons more than our signing of a declaration that we were going to militarily intervene if the sovereignty of this country was violated? That's what I'm wondering. I don't get it. Like, I don't get what's the purpose of us interfering at all in like mainland Europe.
Yeah, like if NATO gets attacked in Europe, like why would you ever interfere? Like
why would we care as Americans if we don't care about Israeli sovereignty? If we don't care about like, so we established a nation for Israelis, right? With the Balfour Doctrine, or with the Balfour, whatever the fuck it was called, Declaration. Right? We also established in the dissolution of the USSR the idea of Ukrainian sovereignty.
Mm-hmm.
We said these nations were going to be able to operate without having to consider Russian control. We said, we're going to defend you militarily if they violate that. And then, when that happened, we did nothing. That's what I'm saying, is like, I don't think there is a cohesive Western doctrine for what our plan is for this region, what our plan is for anything. Like, we've involved ourselves. And then we're just saying, oh, whatever exists right now, deal with it.
And
it's like we
unexist.
never existed. we never existed. We never interfered with anything. We never did anything. We're not responsible for jack shit. It's all you. Deal with it. I don't understand that. I think we have a responsibility for the agreements that we made in the past, for the historical timeline as it has occurred, and I think if we don't take responsibility for that when it comes to our agreements, when it comes to nuclear proliferation, proliferation, why should we give a fuck about land that we gave to people? Right?
Yep.
That's how I feel. Like, it either all matters or none of it matters. And if none of it matters, we're all dying by nuclear annihilation.
Yeah, exactly. You are.
We are. That's how it ends.
And it causes internal, like, psychological dissonance or mental dissonance in my head whenever I think about Americans because of this fact.
We're existing on
You're
very
like
narrow peace
you're
dividend.
bashing your brains
A very
against
narrow
the wall.
peace dividend. We are literally benefiting from a very narrow peace dividend, and we'll be able to make shitty decisions because of that peace dividend that will lead to the destruction of the fucking world.
Yeah, that's kind of like what I'm not getting. Kind of like, what the fuck do you think is happening right now?
It's a war. It's a war. It's trench warfare. It is a war where every single step is challenged with, are you going to retaliate with nuclear annihilation? Because if you do any step further in this range towards us, we're going to do the same to you. That's how the world exists right now. We're going to take over your land, and if you retaliate, and if you have nuclear capability, we're going to respond in kind. So Russia is going to take over every single non-NATO allied country.
Every single NATO allied country as well.
What are we going to do if they do that? Like that's what I'm saying. Like, even if they don't.
We ain't gonna do shit. You know that.
We're not going to do shit. We have no ability to exercise soft power. We cannot maintain our economic constraints on Russia or China because of our economic involvement with them. Americans are not going to be able to weather those things. This is why, like, if I think about my politics right now pragmatically, I'm pretty fucking conservative. Because I want to punish our military enemies as much as possible. The only problem is that my kind of conservatism doesn't exist anymore.
Yeah, it's pretty wild. It's like, whenever I think about these things, and I'm like, fuck. Who can make, like, what kind of argument, and who should make it that would enable Americans to start thinking in terms of warfare.
That's the crazy thing.
Because
is like
the
we have
trench warfare that we're having in the East right now, that's
we have a
like,
history of
maybe
imperialism, and then
worse.
Trump in office is also engaging in imperialism in his fucking capacity as our commander-in-chief. How can we criticize Russia with what they're doing right now with how our military is operating? That's what I struggle with right now. Is like, how can I vouch for my country to be an actual arbiter of peace when we're being just as fucking vile as Russians?
You're not, but okay.
Not yet, but we are going that way. We're doing extrajudicial killings. We are encroaching upon land. We're talking about a land invasion of Venezuela. We are actively becoming Russia.
We loved giving
Maybe.
tons of money to Israel too to kill a bunch of brown people. We love doing imperialism on tons of other
Might
different
makes right.
places. So
That's what I hate, is that this idea that like we need to actually have a ideological understanding of why the idea of the tyranny of the majority is wrong. This idea of a mandate being carte blanche to do whatever the fuck you want in America is wrong. Democracy is wrong. We do actually require some level of baseline, some level of harder to change baseline. We need law. Like, we need bureaucracy. I don't know how to say this about humans, that we're too fucking stupid to rule by tyranny of the majority. We are. We're too fucking emotional.
No, it can be done. It's a skill issue. I don't know, like. It is 100% just a skill issue on your part.
No, like, if you look at it, tyranny of the majority is always going to yield, like, well, just that, like, it's the most susceptible to capital, it's the most susceptible to the effect of propaganda, it's the most susceptible to any sort of system that solidifies power. Tyranny of the majority is going to reduce the ability for the little man to have his voice heard. I don't know.
No, the little man is part of the majority. Like, it's called the tyranny of the majority because the majority's whim is done first, and then everybody else's.
What I'm saying is that the majority's whim are susceptible to things that are inherently inhuman. We are going to advocate for things as a society that are against our best interest as individuals. So having things like immutable rights, having things like natural rights is important. So a society that protects natural rights, like the right to liberty, freedom of association, freedom of speech, it's important because these are the sort of things that a majority can supersede, right? So we need to have a democratic republic. The republic exists to have those rights as a higher power. That is our standard. That is our doctrine. It's more than just whatever humanity believes to be true. It's also what we have formed as an institution. Those institutions have necessary stopgaps. Like they're rigid for a reason. Because we believe in them. It's not just a whim of democracy. It is something that works. And I don't know. I could describe this for a while. But like
I like swinging with Spider.
You like swooning with what?
I kind of just want to play Skyrim, guys. I'm gonna move all your characters around to different areas and I'm gonna play Skyrim, okay?
I like Spider-Man.
You can stay or not. I had Skyrim as my fucking... All I wanted to do today was, like, play fucking video games and do nothing, right? Like, cause, like, if Asmongold can make that work, why can't I?
Don't hate the player, Zan. Hate the game, but the players are garbage. The players don't know how to fucking play. Like,
Yeah, but I do know
players
how
are
to
like
play.
total dog shit.
I'm literally playing with 2K MMR motherfuckers when I'm
I am
8K.
fully out of, like, any sort of politics discussion for the day. I have 3 beers behind me. Skyrim in front of me. All I fucking intended to do today was play Skyrim. Bleh. Not enough memory to run application. What the fuck do you mean, bitch? My RAM is dying. Oh god.